altitude. California.
New York. Alaska. Texas.
New Jersey.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that was graceful.
Well, that must have hurt. But she's up and out.
Welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae, and I am Shanrae. Excuse my 10-minute tardiness on tonight. I've been running, trying to get things together like a chicken with our head cut off, but we are here. We're here for week 4, part 1. This is our last week of Counsel of the Day with Shanrae, May 2024. After this week, I will be on August 2024 with our next topic for that month. But I want to say welcome again. Welcome to my YouTube viewers. Welcome to my Instagram viewers, to my Facebook viewers, my TikTok viewers, my X viewers. That's right. It's not Twitter, it's X. Good evening. And we are finishing up this week of embarrassment, subtitle, Does Embarrassment Make Us Stronger? And we're going to get a hold of some strategies on tonight. But let's start with my website disclaimer. You're going to hear it. You're not going to see my lips moving. And then here we go.
Please be aware that due to the nature of the technology that I'm using, there can be no assurance of confidentiality when using this online service. It should also be noted that due to changes in policies, all replies are to be used as advisory and informational only and will not constitute an official determination. Information provided by myself are limited to the current and available material, but the final responsibility for successfully achieving a goal rests with you, the client. Information online is designed to be helpful. However, this information changes frequently, and it is recommended that you, the individual, will consult another physician, another specialist, and or religious leader to aid you in your overall behavioral wellness.
Okay. Again, good evening, my Instagram viewers. Good evening. I'm trying to talk with y'all while I'm on it. I was able to find a way to do both. So I'm going to be switching back and forth, communicating with Instagram viewers and all of that. Okay, so let's do this. I am a Christian counselor. You all know that I acquired my degrees from Ashford University in psychology and organizational management. Let me magnify this a little bit. I'm a Christian counselor. So this month's, I'm using this scripture for the entire year, and it comes from Ephesians 4:23, the NIV version. It says to be made new in the attitude of your mind. All right, we're not going to define embarrassment. What we're going to do is we're going to move on to our key points for tonight, because our 30 minutes, because I was running a little late tonight, our 30 minutes are going to be going by very quickly, and I want to stay within my time frame. This is an open platform. If you have any questions or if you have any life scenarios that you want to share, I will pause and highlight it, or I will answer your question to the best of my ability, and then we'll go from there. So our key points for tonight are: we live in a competitive world where people value achievement and accomplishments and strive for perfection. That's number one. Number two is polished and perfect people are not necessarily approachable and endearing people. Number three is expressions of embarrassment have important social functions. And number four, people trust, like, and want to help individuals who are more easily embarrassed. Okay. And then, of course, 5 and 6 is our takeaway and our quote for the evening. So let's go on and jump into it. Let me move over here for one moment and see what anybody is saying. Okay, let me say good evening, CJ. Good evening, Miss Bebe. Good evening, Kill. What is that? Keisha Shay. Good evening. D Large. Good evening. And who else? Good evening, Strategic Join. Good evening, you all from my Instagram family. Good evening, everybody. If you have any questions or anything that you want to ask or you want to share, I will jump on it and highlight it. Okay, so let's move on to our question. Our first question that we're going to unravel for the evening. Do embarrassing moments make us stronger? So the theorist here says that there is no evidence that people develop character per se after feeling humiliated, but there could be an upside to embarrassment. So people who act embarrassed after committing a bad act or an embarrassing act, like knocking over a store display, are perceived as more likable than those who don't, regardless of whether or not anything is actually done to make amends for this mistake. So I have never. Hi, Helen. How you doing? Good to see you tonight. She said she's just getting on. I'm glad to see you, Helen. So I don't ever remember knocking over a display like in any store or anything like that, but I've been sharing all month long about my embarrassing moment that I can laugh about now. Again, those that didn't hear all month long, when I was in the 6th grade, my class was taking a midterm. And the whole class was absolutely quiet. And I suffer from allergies. I suffer from year-round allergies. So my allergies were acting up this time, and I was trying to not sneeze. And I couldn't help but sneeze because my allergies were bothering me so bad. And I sneezed awfully loud. I made a very loud sneeze during the midterm exams in 6th grade, and I pooted at the same time. Oh my gosh. You talk about humiliating. So for the rest of the 6th grade year, I was called that poop girl or that fart girl. Let's just put it that way. They say that fart girl. So it was something to have to live through those embarrassing moments in the 6th grade. But by the time I got to the 7th grade, we was good. Like nobody remembered really any, or if they did, they had something else that they was jonesing people about. So that is one of my most embarrassing, humiliating moments then. Okay. So let me see. Who else? We got Strategic who joined on. Okay, there we go. So let's move on to the very next thing here. So it says, let's give a quick example. And all of this is reviewed by theorists from Psychology Today. All right. So we have a whole bunch of theorists who are reviewing the terminology or the theory of embarrassment. Okay. So one of the theorists said, let's go this way. Oh God, just caught my reflection. So this is a person that was out with a friend and was walking with the friend and talking. And they said, oh my God, I just caught my reflection in a window display. And they realized that they looked ridiculous. And so he said to his friends, hey guys, I feel like people are avoiding me or they're giving me a lot of space on the sidewalk. And initially, this is what he was saying, and I can't imagine why. And so sometimes you might be wondering how I got myself in this pickle. So it's pretty embarrassing. This is what the theorist was talking about. Said, gotta be honest, but that's the point. I'm trying to feel, this is funny. The theorist actually was trying to feel embarrassed for science research purposes. All right. And this is theorist Joe right here. So embarrassment, awkwardness, cringe, and no matter what you call it, it's one of the most unique human emotions and one that's particularly hard to figure out. But if a feeling exists and it's lasted long through evolution, it probably does have a purpose. So this is what the theorist Joe was saying. He deliberately put himself in embarrassing situations as a science experiment. So Helen said, real experience is our best teacher. Yes, experience is our best teacher. She said we learn from our mistakes. And she is right. For the most part, most people really do learn from embarrassing moments or mistakes. Now, I did talk about on week 2, there are a couple of people that classified in certain classifications that they just don't experience embarrassment or humiliation like others. And again, number 1 is those that may be on the spectrum. And so they do not experience embarrassment or humiliation like other people. And then the second category is someone that's considered or classified as a psychopath. So, but for the most part, mostly everybody experiences humiliation or embarrassment. and sometimes even shame. So I agree with Helen over in Facebook, and Facebook land. She's absolutely right. Most of the time, experience is a good. I don't like to say the best teacher, but it is a great teacher. I feel like that we can learn from example, or we can learn from someone teaching us, from teachings. But if you have to learn from experience, then I pray that experience that you learn, that the experience that you experience doesn't cause too much permanent damage. All right, so let's move on to this question here. So why do we feel embarrassment? So the theorist Joe says it may be something we relish. It's feeling and experiencing. Most of us do whatever we can avoid, what we can to avoid this here feeling of embarrassment. Let me move over here. Okay, hey freelance, hey let me look and see if anyone is saying anything. Hey CJ, I'm glad to hear from you. Good evening, Shanrae. Hey D Lodge. Okay, all right, so let's move on. Tamara, Terry Allen, hi, how are you? Okay, if y'all got any questions or scenarios, I'll answer them whenever you're ready. All right, so the next question is, but what if embarrassment is actually a good thing? What if embarrassment is a good thing? So theorist Joe says, how would you define embarrassment? And this is a very good question here. How would you define embarrassment? One, is it feeling like you want to hide? Is it feeling shame for who you are? Is this awful feeling where you just kind of in your head scream, no, stop? Is this no, you just say no, don't talk to me, or just you're saying to yourself, just shut up, shut your mouth? And one thing he asks, farting in public and want nobody to hear it. Because sometimes when you're embarrassed, it's severely embarrassed, it causes your body to function a certain way. And then, or do you want to just sometimes look something up in the dictionary or Google it to find out, is this normal, a normal thing? But feeling extremely uncomfortable, that's another definition for being embarrassed. Or, oh, that was a good one, trying to putting in humor, or just trying to, say, okay, that was a good one right there. And so it says, or a feeling of, now I'm nervous because there's cameras rolling, because y'all know we live in social media world right now. So when anything embarrassing happens, people they be having their phones just like this. And you be like, oh my God, like you will not be able to escape that with the phone, So it says, one of the things is saying that, oh my gosh, the cameras are rolling or something like this. So theorist Joe says, he be like, how do I describe what I'm feeling right now in this embarrassing moment? So embarrassment is a unique emotion, but what are the emotions? I just gave some, and we're going to run through some more embarrassing emotions. Okay. And again, all of us have experienced some type of embarrassment. All of us have. Okay. So theorist Joe, or scientists love categorizing things. This is what theorist Joe is saying, but emotions have been surprisingly difficult to fit into a neat little box. So in fact, scientists have been struggling to settle on a universal definition of what an emotion is since the 1800s. Wow. But researchers generally agree that emotions fall into one of the a few different bins. And here we go. Here are some basic emotions, like number 1, happiness. Number 2 is sadness. Number 3 is fear. And number 4 is anger. So these type of emotions, they pop up very quickly without any conscious thought. But that's because they evolve to ensure our survival. Like, we don't have time to consciously think about being afraid. We really don't. When we get scared, it's either fight or flight. There's going to be 2 things that's going to happen when we get scared in a situation. We either going to fight or we're going to run, or we're going to flight. So with that type of emotion, that's not something that you're really thinking about. Okay. Or you consciously think about. When we see something that scares us, like the theorist Joe said, like a creepy clown. Okay. But embarrassment is a different type of emotion. It falls into another category of emotions known as a self-conscious emotion. Okay, embarrassment falls up under the emotions that's called a self-conscious emotion. So a self-conscious emotion requires more brain power than basic emotions because you got to think before you feel. Okay, you got to think about it. So embarrassment also falls into the category also of social emotion. So it's two categories that embarrassment falls into: social emotion and self-conscious emotion. All right, because whether or not we feel embarrassed depends on the social rules. Okay, so let's say that this is an example here. You just ordered some Thai food from your favorite restaurant. Now, listen, those that live in the Atlanta area, if you ever want some good Thai food, go to Atlantic Station. It's a restaurant called Sri Thai, SRI Thai, and it's in a building. It's the restaurant is up top. It's a nice little restaurant. They have the best basil fried rice. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me get back on subject, y'all. Let me get back on subject. Hold on, let me check this. Hey, New York, and Club, how you doing? All right, over there in Instagram land. So this is the example. Say you ordered some Thai food from your favorite restaurant, but you tripped and spilled it all over the floor in your kitchen when you was getting ready to eat. Hey, Tawana, how you doing? Tawana, how you? Good to see you. So if you're home and by yourself, if this happens while you trip and fall and you drop your dinner, you might feel frustrated, but probably not embarrassed. Okay. And that's because no one was there to see your klutzy movements. And this is what theorist Joe was saying. He was saying that, maybe your dog saw you and they're not judging you. Actually, they're thanking you for dropping your food on the floor because they get to eat it, But if you spill food all over the floor in a restaurant, and everybody does that thing where they stop talking and stare right at you, well, in that case, you might feel like a severe embarrassment. Okay. And I think we've all been there. I was at a birthday celebration last summer. And we were celebrating a friend of ours. And it was a bunch of mutual people. We were at a restaurant. And so we were sitting at tables, and it was only a few people that we knew at the table, but I love getting to meet new people. I love it. And so we were there mingling and everything like that, and just learning about the people that we are not accustomed to. And so this one lady was there, and she had a special needs adult child. And so that special needs adult child was there with her, and they also had the caregiver that was with them. And so I thought that was really cool because the mom, which was an older woman, she didn't have to worry too much about her special needs adult male child. And so she was mingling and talking, and I noticed that while she was mingling, she had a lot of nervous energy. So she's moving and doing stuff and blah, 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 going around and talking. And we're trying to have conversations and everything. And so she's doing things, and she wanted this. She ordered this off the menu, tasted it. I don't want that. Or put it back, and asked for something else. Oh, I don't want that. Can you take this back? Can you bring me something else? So it was that type of nervous energy the mom had. And so while she was doing all of this, and for the second or third time, the waiters came over, and she was trying to change something out or whatever. And when as soon as the waiter turned around to leave, she went to touch something again on the table and knocked over a really large glass of water. And the water got all over me. I was sitting on the opposite side of the table, but the water got all over me. So I wasn't embarrassed. I was more embarrassed for her than for me. And I got soaked, y'all. She soaked my little cute dress that I had on, but it was okay. It was water. I didn't get angry or anything. I just, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I had recognized that she had a lot of nervous energy anyway. I wasn't expecting that, but I was more embarrassed for her. And so my husband was with me, and so he got some stuff and tried to drive me off, and we wound up getting up and moving to an entirely different table behind that. But I was more embarrassed for her. And so she kept apologizing. I said, it was just water. It's going to dry. I said, as soon as I leave, I said, go out into, it was the summertime. As soon as I leave, it's going to dry when I go outside. So I was like, it's not a big deal. But she was humiliated by that situation. And I was embarrassed for her. So, things happen. Let me see what's going on. What did Miss Bebe say? Thank you for giving me, was it my flowers? She gave me my flowers for that. Thank you. Miss Bebe said, I guess that should be my name too. Okay. All righty then. Yes. But it's okay. Things happen. So what Dr. Joe was saying, again, if that happened, when stuff like this happens in public situations, that is extremely embarrassing. He says, so what makes the home alone scenario frustrating rather than embarrassing? And but the crowded restaurant, okay, let me say this again. He said, what makes the home alone scenario frustrating, but the crowded restaurant situation embarrassing? He said that it's called social context. I'm going to say that again. When you're by yourself, you may get frustrated in an embarrassing situation or in a situation, but in a social environment, you'll be more embarrassed, and it's called social context. So the social evaluation model of embarrassing says that embarrassment comes from anticipating other people's negative judgment. I'm going to say that again because we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. And I love how Helen had shared a scenario that happened with her some time ago. If you don't mind, before I say it, Helen, is it okay if I reshare the scenario that you shared with us about the singing? And I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on Helen. Will she tell me yes or no? Because I don't want to re-share it if it's not okay. So I'm waiting on Helen's on her reply. But Dr. Joe says that the social evaluation model of embarrassment says that embarrassment comes from anticipating other people's negative judgment. So a lot of times when we're in an embarrassing situation, oh, thank you, Helen. She said yes. But when we're in an embarrassing situation, we feel like we feel like it's more magnified than what it actually is. There are some people that to me can they can exuberate more cruel or harassing type of, or even bullying type of tendencies. But for the most part, you're not going to find people who are just going to automatically be bullying you or harassing you or antagonizing you over something that happened out of your control. So hey Jackie, how you doing? So I'm trying to see what's going on. Okay. Yes. So so Helen shared with us last week. She was up and in church, because a lot of us are Christians. We go to church. Y'all, I'm a Christian counselor. Helen was asked to sing a song. So she got up and she went over to the musician and went to sing the song. The musician did not know the song. So the musician did not play. And Helen went ahead and continued to sing the song, what we call a cappella, which is without music. So when she said that she felt so embarrassed by this event that happened, because the musician, I guess he initially tried to play the song and then just eventually stopped. I told Helen that was a blessing in disguise, because when an instrumentalist, when someone, an accompaniment, when they don't, a lot of times someone that plays an instrument, a keyboard or something like that, they may not necessarily know how to play that instrument in every key. But there are some some keyboardists that will try to make you sing whatever song you're singing in the key, the only key that they know how to play in, which is terrible. That's not really good. It's not helpful. So I told her that he did the best thing, or she did the best thing, was to stop playing altogether so she can sing this song without music and get that song across the right way. So I understand Helen probably felt embarrassed because there was no music accompaniment. But let me tell you something. Some of the most powerful songs are sang without music. For instance, Whitney Houston, when she started out the song "I Will Always Love You," and she sang that without music, and she went into it, and then the music came later on. But that beginning to that song, how she sang "I Will Always Love You," the music came in when she said, and I will always love you. That's when the music came in. But before that, it was powerful without the music. So, like, again, I know Helen said that she was embarrassed, but I'm telling you, people probably didn't even look at it the way she thought they did. They probably enjoyed you singing way more without that musical accompaniment. All right, so that was, let me see what Instagram is saying. Right. Okay, so they're listening over in Instagram land. All right, so Dr. Joe was saying that even though in reality most people aren't paying as much attention to us as we think that they are, our fear of social judgment can actually create real pain. So Dr. Joe says that we work hard to cultivate the image of ourselves that we share with the world. So when we accidentally show the world a version of ourselves that doesn't match what we wish to share with them, that we can feel pretty terrible or embarrassed or shamed by it. So let's move to our takeaway, because this takeaway I like is very, very, very powerful. Where's we at? No, that's not it. Keep going. Okay, I have not been moving this along at all. All right, so our takeaway for tonight, it says that embarrassment, and let me open it for y'all, see if you can see it. All right, here we go. Our takeaway for tonight says that embarrassment isn't our only complex social human emotion. We also have empathy. All right, so empathy, which embarrassment can make us feel, like I talked about what happened to me when I went to a birthday luncheon last summer. That empathy, embarrassment can also incorporate a feeling of empathy. And so the empathy that we feel from embarrassment motivates us to be better humans and community members. So while embarrassment feels like the end of the world, sometimes it can. Because let me tell y'all, when I sneezed and pooted at the same time in 6th grade during my midterm in a quiet classroom, at that age, I was like, oh, I will never be able to live this down. I honestly thought I would never be able to live that situation down. But you know what? When I went back to school in the 7th grade, nobody thought about that. All of that incident, it was over with. It ended. It was it. It was over and done with. Okay. So Dr. Joe says that while embarrassment feels like the end of the world, it actually brings us together as people. So knowing when we're out of line and apologizing strengthens our relationships. So that sense of connection can hopefully help us all feel less alone, even when we're walking around in a pickle suit, AKA in an embarrassing moment. So that was Dr. Joe's theory on embarrassment. What I loved about this teaching and this study right here is that Dr. Joe actually put as a scientific experiment, he put himself in embarrassing situations so he can research and learn about the different emotions, the different effects, the different experiences that embarrassment can have. And he was his own subject and documented, and so he can talk further about the effects of embarrassment. All right, so let's move on to our quote. Like I said, I'm going to keep this quote for the rest of which is till Thursday night. All right, and it says that embarrassment is where growth happens, aka what Helen said, that experience is the best teacher. So the quote is by from Jalen Brown. Embarrassment is where growth happens, aka experience is the best teacher. All right. Yes. So I don't know if is anyone on YouTube, anyone on Instagram. If y'all want something to ask or to say, this is the time to do it because we about to wrap it up. All right. So I'm going to go on and do my public service announcements. Shanrae's public service announcements. For my fellow counselors and theorists, this is where, and I always put a different color on my updated theory, where I got my theory website reference from. So this is it for my fellow counselors and my fellow theorists. That's where I got my research from. Now, here is my service announcements. Better Up. So if you want to create a personal and professional transformation through expert coaching, www.betterup.com is where you can find a great match for a life coach. Betterup.com. Let me look on Instagram once again. Here we go. All right. So the next one is, and I love this community right here, Ada Plus community. All right. It says empowering adults with ADD, ADHD, and OCD to live their best lives. A different brain requires a different approach. So if you know someone or if you yourself experiences ADD, ADHD, or OCD, Ada Plus Community is a community of support group to help for you all to work together and to live your best lives. All right, let's move on to the next service announcement. 988 Crisis Helpline. It says help is available. If you need to connect with someone that you can trust, if you're struggling or you know someone who is struggling, it is okay to share your feelings with the 988 Lifeline counselor. And this 988 counseling services it provides 24/7 free and confidential support for people who may be experiencing distress, prevention and crisis resources for you or for your loved ones, and the best practices for professionals in the United States. 988 Crisis Hotline, 24/7 free place to call. Next service announcement is, okay, so if you want a safe space to speak with a licensed professional online, BetterHelp offers affordable counseling sessions for individuals, couples, and for families. www.betterhelp.com. And again, they will fit you with the right counselor for you or for your family member. Learning RX. I stand by Learning RX. Learning RX has been around for a very long time, helping people to improve their skills like working memory, long-term memory, and your attention. It also increases your IQ by no less than 13 points. So Learning RX is a brain training program. It has been around for a long time. You don't necessarily have to struggle with memory or focus. A lot of professionals take advantage of Learning RX, like politicians, like surgeons, like lawyers, and all different type of people. They actually take advantage of Learning RX because it's brain strengthening. Again, it strengthens your working memory, your long-term memory, attention, and your IQ increases at least 13 points. LearningRx.com. All right. So if there's a past Counsel of the Day with Shanrae series that you've missed or you just want to rewatch, you can go to my YouTube channel, Shanrae Price. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, and then select any past series that you would like to watch. And last but not least, I am a professional one-on-one counselor. So if you're interested in professional one-on-one counseling services, feel free to contact me via my Facebook Messenger page at Shanrae Owens. Or if you would like to email me at my email address at shanrae.price@gmail.com. I'm a lifestyle strategist, and my aim is to aid you in your life's goals and your life's dreams. So this has been Counsel of the Day, week 4, part 1 of embarrassment. can it actually strengthen you? All right, with embarrassment. I will see y'all Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our final night of embarrassment for this month. And then after Thursday night, I'll see y'all August 2024. But I hope that you all had a wonderful, learned something on tonight, something that you gained from tonight with embarrassment. Can it actually strengthen you? And thank you again. I want to thank my Instagram family, my Twitter family, my TikTok family, my Facebook family, and my YouTube family. You all have a wonderful night. See y'all for part 2, the final night this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night, everybody. All right.
Out of here. Too late. Hey, guess who's here? What are we serving tonight? Chicken or chicken?
What a nice surprise. They said we were going to be short-handed this leg. You two take coach. Oh, and could you handle the announcements?
Okie dokie. No problemo.
You're gonna know we're bogus.
Relax. You get on the horn, I'll throw some peanuts at him. We'll be in Chicago before you know it.
Okay, folks, the guy in front of you is Tommy. He'll be taking you through my little spiel here. Tommy is a Scorpio, he likes biking, and he's never been laid. Exits! Okay, there's one back here, and there's probably one over by the wing somewhere, usually. And what about seat belts? To fasten. Take the little end and stick it in the big end, and you know what? If you guys don't know how to use a seat belt, just ring your call button, and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer because you're a retard. Okay, and life preservers. These we may need. Although, what are the odds of us actually hitting a lake? My money says, if anything, it's gonna be a mountain. To inflate, put it around your neck and yank down on the tab. He's a big dumb animal, isn't he, folks?